Let your breathing slow, dear listener. Let the weight of your body settle into the quiet support beneath you. The world outside is still now. The day is done, and I want to take you on a gentle journey, not to a place of noise or hurry, but to a place of profound, ancient peace. We are going to spend a single quiet day inside a medieval monastery. The time is somewhere around the year 1200. The place is a Benedictine abbey, nestled in a quiet green valley somewhere in Europe. It is a place of gray stone and green grass, of silence and slow, steady prayer. And our day begins, not with the sun, but in the deepest, darkest heart of the night. The first sound that stirs you is a bell, not a loud clanging alarm, but a single deep resonant toll. It echoes once, twice across the dark, silent cloisters. It is perhaps 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. The world outside is utterly black and profoundly still. But inside the monastery, life is beginning to stir. Imagine you are a monk. Your cell is a very small, simple room. It contains a narrow wooden bed with a mattress of straw, a rough wool blanket, a wooden stool, and a single candle. There is no fire. The air is cold, and you can see your own breath form in a small, pale cloud. You rise from your bed, the straw rustling softly. Your bare feet touch the cold, smooth flagstones. You pull a heavy, coarse wool habit over your head. It smells faintly of wood smoke and cold, clean air. You do not speak. You have already begun the great silence, which has lasted since the final prayers of the previous evening. You pick up your candle and walk out into the dark stone corridor. All around you, other monks are doing the same, their candles tiny, flickering points of light in the deep, velvety darkness. The only sound is the soft, rhythmic shuffle of their simple leather sandals on the ancient stone floors. Shush, shush, shush! You all file in a slow, quiet procession into the great abbey church. This is Matins, the first prayer of the day. The church is vast and dark. The only light comes from a few oil lamps near the high altar and the small, flickering candles each monk holds. The flame dances gently, casting long, soft shadows on the soaring stone pillars. The air is cold and smells of old stone and beeswax. You take your place in the intricately carved wooden choir stall. You stand in complete silence, your arms tucked into the wide sleeves of your habit for warmth, your eyes slowly adjusting to the dim, sacred light. And then a single calm voice begins to chant a psalm. The sound is low, resonant, and deeply peaceful. It is a monophonic chant, a single unaccompanied melody that seems to vibrate not just in your ears, but in your very bones. It is not a performance. It is a prayer made of breath and silence. The service lasts for about an hour, a quiet, steady, communal rhythm of chant and response. And when it finishes, you simply sit in a profound, soul-deep silence, listening to the complete velvet stillness of the night outside the thick stone walls. This is not a rushed mechanical prayer. This is a quiet, private conversation with the infinite, held in the deepest, most sacred silence of the night. After a short period of rest, another bell tolls. The sky outside the high, narrow windows is just beginning to show a faint, pale gray. It is Lauds, the prayer of dawn. The same soft, quiet procession returns to the choir stalls. But now, the faint light of the rising sun begins to filter through the eastern windows, its first rays slowly illuminating the brilliant, jeweled colors of the stained glass. A deep, serene blue, a rich blood red, a soft holy gold. The chant begins again, but this time it feels lighter, full of a quiet, gentle hope. The new day is blessed, and the silence that follows is no longer the heavy silence of midnight, but the expectant, peaceful silence of the morning. After lauds, the community walks in silence to the refectory for breakfast. The meal is simple and brief: a thick slice of coarse, dark bread, a small piece of hard cheese, a cup of weak, small ale. There is no conversation. A single monk stands at a wooden lectern and reads aloud from a sacred text. His voice is a calm, quiet, steady monotone, the only human sound in the hall. The food is plain but deeply satisfying. You eat slowly, deliberately, your mind focused on the quiet rise and fall of the reader's voice. And now, the morning's work begins. For the monks, work and prayer were one. Work was called a divine skill, a way to seek the sacred. And one of the most beautiful forms of this work took place in the scriptorium. Imagine you are there now. The scriptorium is a long, quiet room, its walls lined with windows to catch every precious bit of daylight. The air is cool and still. It smells of old parchment, a clean, dry, slightly animal scent, of the tannins in the ink, and of the faint, clean dust of ground pigments. You sit on a simple wooden bench at a slanted desk. Before you is a sheet of vellum, the finest calfskin, scraped and sanded until it is as smooth as marble. You have a small pot of dense black ink, and in your hand you hold a quill. It is a primary feather from a goose, its shaft hardened and carefully cut. You dip the nib into the ink, just a tiny amount, and you begin to write. The quill makes a soft, rhythmic scratching sound on the vellum. Scratch, scratch, scratch. It is a sound of profound, patient concentration. Your task is to slowly, painstakingly copy a page from a sacred text, perhaps the Psalms or the Gospels. But the beauty of the scriptorium is not just in the words. It is the art of illumination. At a nearby desk, an older monk is working with a tiny, fine brush made of squirrel hair. He is painting the capital letter at the start of a chapter. He mixes a brilliant deep blue from ground lapis lazuli, a stone more precious than gold. He adds delicate touches of shimmering gold leaf. The design is not just a letter, it is a miniature, sacred masterpiece, a prayer painted in light and color. He has been working on this single letter for days. He will work on it for days more. There is no hurry. This is a work of profound, quiet devotion. Every stroke of the quill, every delicate touch of the brush, is a silent, whispered prayer. The hours pass in this quiet, steady, beautiful rhythm of ink and silence. After the morning's work, the bell tolls again. It is time for sext, the midday prayer. The service is short, a quiet pause to recalibrate the heart before the midday meal. Afterwards, you walk out into the Cloister garth, the central garden of the monastery. The sun is warm and high. The air is full of a rich, beautiful perfume. You walk slowly along the gravel path. You pass the neat rectangular beds of the herb garden. The air smells of rosemary, sharp and clean. You brush your fingers gently against a lavender bush, and the sweet, calming scent rises up around you. There is sage with its soft, downy leaves and fennel smelling faintly of licorice. A few bees hum quietly among the lavender flowers. A single, pure white butterfly dances silently past you in the still, warm air. This is the medicine garden. The plants here heal the bodies of the monks and the many travelers who stop at the gate, seeking hospitality. The midday meal is the main meal of the day. Monks gather in the refectory, and the only voice is still the quiet, steady drone of the reader. The food is simple but nourishing. A thick, slowly cooked bean stew, more of the dark, coarse bread, fresh, clean water. Meals are simple, a quiet exercise in gratitude and restraint. The afternoon is a time for different work. You might go to the bee yard, a quiet, sunny corner of the orchard. The air is full of a deep, gentle, contented hum. You carefully tend the straw hives, collecting the golden, dripping honeycomb. The bees are calm and busy, their quiet industry a lesson in patient, collective effort. Or you might be assigned to the porter's gate. A tired, dusty traveler arrives, leading a tired horse. You welcome him with a silent smile and a gesture of open hands. You offer him water to wash his feet, bread, and a cell for the night. The Benedictine rule commands that every guest is to be received as if they were a divine messenger in disguise. There are no questions, no judgment. Just quiet, humble, open-hearted service. As the afternoon light begins to soften and turn a deep, rich gold, the bell tolls once more. It is Vespers, the evening prayer. The monks file back into the choir stalls. The stained glass windows are now glowing like living jewels in the setting sun. The sky outside turns from blue to soft orange to deep purple. The chant of Vespers is a song of gratitude. Thanks for the day that is ending. Thanks for the quiet, simple gifts of work, prayer, and community. The deep, resonant notes of the chant rise and fall in the dim, golden light, a perfect, peaceful end to the active day. And now, finally, as true darkness falls, the community gathers for the last time. It is Compline. The abbey church is almost completely dark. Only a single small candle burns before the altar. The monks stand in profound silence. The chant of Compline is a soft, gentle lullaby. It is a song of trust, a quiet placing of the self into the hands of the divine before the long, dark night. The final prayer is said, and then the abbot, the leader of the community, does something simple and profound. He walks slowly through the choir and sprinkles each monk with a few drops of holy water from a simple wooden aspergillum. The cold drops on your forehead are a final, quiet, physical blessing. And then the great silence begins. No one speaks. The monks process out of the church in complete, profound silence. The only sound is the quiet final sigh of the great wooden door closing behind them. You walk, barefoot now, your sandals in your hand, down the long, dark, cold stone corridor to your cell. You close the simple wooden door. The room is dark and still. The only light is the faint silver beam of moonlight that falls through the small, high, unglazed window. You kneel for a final quiet moment beside your straw mattress, offering a last, silent, wordless prayer. A prayer of pure, simple gratitude. For the peace, for the silence, for the quiet, steady rhythm of a day lived in devotion. Then you blow out your candle. The room is plunged into a deep, complete, velvety darkness. You lie down on your straw mattress. The wool blanket is rough but warm. The air is cold and perfectly still. The silence is absolute. No traffic, no alarms, no screens. Just the thick, ancient, protective silence of the stone walls, and the deep, quiet peace of a soul that is, for this moment, completely at rest. The bell will ring again at midnight, and the beautiful, quiet cycle will begin again. But for now, there is only sleep, a deep, dreamless, restorative sleep in the silent, sacred heart of a world without noise. The night is still. The monks are resting. And you, dear listener, are at peace.